Right then, so session 2 of Icewind Dale. Thank you very much for tuning in. It is March. Yeah, March. Let's not waste any time and jump straight to it. Let's go. Hopefully my new transitions work, but hey ho, we'll see.
Hopefully his new translation works, but we'll see.
Oh man.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
That was a weird time for me to unmute myself on Discord because I just heard myself go again.
It's so beautiful.
There's mass bumping out the way. Quick, hide it,
Hello.
hide it. Right, I'll hide it for you. Hold on. There you go.
Oh man.
Oh,
Fuck.
No, it was
You
my
need to hide.
sniper impression.
That's what Dud's gonna need this session. You die.
oh yeah.
Okay, so
Have you
make a
seen
new
my health?
constitution roll,
I think
Dudley.
I'm going to win that.
I'm not doing that every 5 minutes.
Is everyone
Not
ready?
killing me off yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring Groovy into the channel.
I might have to
'Cause she's
mute him
fit.
because he got me into trouble last time.
Oh no.
For a grand
Okay,
total
well,
of 6 seconds. So
Get in
as long as we
trouble
keep
for it.
talking, we're good. As long as we keep talking, we're all good.
Right, well, okay. I'll try and find some royalty-free stuff next time. I'm sure I
Okay,
can
dude,
probably find
I'm
some.
not monetizing it, and Twitch will just mute the VOD. I'll delete the VOD afterwards. It's all good. Play it.
Alright, okay. Right, anyway. So, last time, a band of strangers had come together in unusual circumstances. You all awoke from a deep and unnatural sleep, piled into a small cage like animals, and dragged through the snow on the back of a carriage. Fortunately, which is something that you'll probably not get a lot of in this campaign, fortune, the weather and tough terrain proved too much for your captors to work, and their stubbornness ultimately led to their demise and your escape. Before Var punched his way through the wooden base of the cage, Bok had searched the deceased in the cage and noticed a hole the size of a pin behind the dead's ears. Checking his own, he found a similar hole behind his own ear. Ferocious blizzard and thick fog had consumed the area, and you were attacked by a pack of 5 starving wolves. Even under the difficult conditions, you proved yourselves victorious and disposed of the threat, taking minimal damage. Once the battle was over, Var Steel Shadow disposed of the bodies by performing a ritual that none of you had ever seen before. He dragged 3 of the wolves, placing them in a triangle in the snow, and chanting his prayer as he set the bodies ablaze. You all watched as 3 small wisps of flame circled the bodies and grew quickly into a twisting vortex of fire, which seemed to disperse the thick fog that limited your senses. Var and Edriel noticed a screech echo in the night sky, and as they looked up to investigate, they saw what looked like a huge white dragon flying southwest towards the mountains. As you collected your things for the journey ahead, Var checked the bodies and used his knowledge on dwarven heritage, and realized that the 2 mysterious captors were Dwerga, a subterranean race of lesser dwarves that typically stayed underground, never usually interacting with the world above. Bok, you searched the bodies and found some useful items and a small bag of 7 misshapen black pebbles. You passed the items to Var, which included some winter clothes and some snowshoes, but keeping the pebbles for yourself. And you also found a purse with 50 gold pieces. You took 10 for yourself, and then you threw the purse in Var's direction, and I'm pretty sure Var just pocketed the rest of it.
I was hoping you won't bring that up.
Well, it doesn't matter, the characters don't know, so that's fine. Adolamin. You put on a set of the dwarven winter clothes, but they were a bit too big for your tiny body. But they made do for the journey. You journeyed southwest and found yourself at a small fishing village by the name of Bremen. And while discussing where you should spend the night, you met with a fisherman by the name of Robbie, who would advise you to try the Buried Treasure Inn, as the 5 taverns in the square were not very sanitary, and the 5 brothers that owned them weren't too keen on strangers. Taking Robbie's advice, you headed over to the inn and had a few drinks. Bok had his fill on various meats and fish. And the trio troupe, who still haven't revealed the name of their act, dazzled the village folk with their story of a brave Leonin taking 6 wolves as his slaves, while Var and Goza spoke to an odd human male named Hayden, who had offered them lodging in exchange for help taking care of his son's killer. Reluctantly, you agree to spend the night at Hayden's cottage, where he gave you 3-day-old stew, which started to develop that earthy taste and rot, and handed you all some owl bear skin clothing fit for the harsh weather and freezing temperatures. I'm hoping that all of you have added winter clothing to your inventories as well.
I will do that.
Definitely did.
Yeah, make sure you do.
It's listed as
add
clothing, comma, cold weather, if you need it.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So he's after sort of talking to Hayden for a little bit, he'd also promised you a small herd of axe beaks to help you travel quickly through the tough terrain and the thick snow, and then you agreed to sleep on your decision and rested after a long day. So, just before morning comes, could all of you except Adalamin, leave the channel for just a moment? Max, are you going to need to stay in here for the stream?
Yeah, what I'll do, I'll take my headset off.
Okay.
But I'll
Perfect.
record it, but yeah, the headset's coming off now, so give me a poke and roll 20 when to pop them back on, alright?
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. That's perfect. Okay, so. Go. Okay, so. Adalamin. Are you
Hello.
there?
I'm here.
Okay. As you sleep amongst old friends and new, in Hayden's cosy but cold living room, you dream. You stand atop a mountain and see the peak up ahead. You see what looks like a crooked pole and a blue flag affixed to the top of the top, blowing in the wind. And you push hard to reach the summit, forcing your way through the strong wind, approaching the flag. Come, my child. You hear bellowing all around you in a soft but assertive tone. You get closer to the flag and see a 6-pointed snowflake, silver on a blue background. You reach out to grab the flag, but before you can grab it, a huge gust of wind sends you over the summit. You close your eyes as you embrace a cold and violent death, waiting as you plummet till your body hits the ground. A few minutes pass by. Nothing. A few more. Nothing. You open your eyes to see you standing on a frozen lake. Above is a mess of beautiful stars, with the familiar brush of greens and purples and pinks painted across the speckled night sky. As your eyes come down, you find yourself at the bottom of a staircase, made of ice, glowing in glacier blue under moonlight. It leads upwards towards a blue crystal, around the same size as you, and it's floating just at the top of the staircase. And the staircase is probably about 50 feet or so long, sort of heading upwards, and it sort of comes up to sort of like a large balcony, and the crystal is floating in the center. Closer, child, the voice whispers once more. You ascend the staircase, and you notice it gets colder the closer you get. When you reach the top, you see a bright white light shining through a hole big enough for your hand in the center of the floating crystal of ice. take my gift. What do you do?
I'm going to reach in.
Okay. So as you reach into the light, you feel the sting of winter spread up your arm, the burning cold pushing through your veins, and you can feel it travel all the way up as it hits your heart. A huge explosion of cold just bursts through your whole body. It's painful and it feels real, and it's nothing like you've ever felt before. You scream, but silence is the only thing that leaves your mouth. Tears form in the pit of your eyes and begin to freeze immediately to form crystal teardrops that shatter as they hit the ground. Good, the voice says. You pull your hand out, which is now numb and burnt from the blistering cold. And you look down and you see a six-pointed snowflake, probably around 4 or 5 inches in circumference, sort of like in diameter. And it's made of crystal, and it sits in your palm, almost like glass. Devour, the voice whispers. What do you do?
I'm gonna try and ask it a question. I'll say, what is this?
Just says, devour. And that's all it says.
I'm gonna try and put the crystal back to where it was.
Okay. As you try to put the crystal back into the light, you feel this force almost preventing you from putting it back. Like the light is pushing back. And you hear again, devour.
I don't understand. I don't understand what you need me to do.
The crystal starts to glow. And as you sort of stare into it, it shows like this strange reflection. Like you see the reflection of you inside it. And as you look closer, it's almost like the mirror image of yourself is doing its own thing. And as you look closer, you can see the crystal being moved slowly to your reflection's mouth. It begins to eat it. Devour, it says again.
I'm gonna very confusedly, gingerly try and take a bite out of the edge of it,
Okay.
like
So-
a big biscuit.
Right, so as you bring the snowflake to your mouth, feel a comforting warmth from it. Put it to your lips and you bite down hard. The glass breaks, shatters between the weight of your teeth, immediately cutting your gums and your tongue and the roof of your mouth. And the hot irony taste of blood is overpowering as you bite down and chew. And the pain makes your eyes water again, but this time your tears aren't turning to ice. Instead, they burn hot and steam rises from them as they fall. As you swallow the glass, it turns to liquid in your throat, warming your belly. Good. And you wake now. Everyone else in the room is still asleep. You wake in Hayden's living room. And your breath is misty and thick in the dark, cold morning. And even though that you see that the room is visibly cold, you don't feel it. You feel comfortably warm.
Can I, while everybody's still asleep, I'm going to get up and walk outside and see if I'm still warm outside.
Okay. You
I'm
get
going
up.
to try and not wake anybody though.
Yeah. You wake up, and it's pretty easy to get through. Everyone's pretty tired from the night before. You open the door reluctantly. It's still dark out. The twilight hasn't hit yet. And you feel the wind blow sort of on your face. And you're still wearing that sort of big, thick owlbear skin that Hayden gave you. And the breeze feels warm.
Curious. Okay. Right, I'm going to go back inside.
Okay, I'm going to bring everyone back in. All right. Sorry about that. So, you all wake up now in Hayden's room, in Hayden's living room. Hayden hasn't woken up yet. It's still sort of quite early in the morning, probably about 6 a.m. It's still quite dark outside. Floor is yours. What do you do?
I'm gonna wake up and just utter myself a little prayer. And, dust myself off. Make sure I'm all dressed and ready for the day.
I didn't really get that much sleep. I kind of slept with one eye open, kind of deal. Not really paying attention to what was going on around me. So seeing movement of everyone else getting up, I sort of just get to my feet and go step outside, get some fresh air, and eat some of the meat that I pocketed from yesterday.
Okay. You sort of head outside, and it's quite cold outside, but you're comfortable at least with your with the winter clothes that you've got on.
Just
Diligently go through my spell book.
I just kind of slowly rouse from my meditation. Just like turn to Johnny. Just like, you ready for today then? What are we even doing? I forgot.
I suppose we was gonna help this gent that provided us lodgings for the night. Didn't mention
Oh
that his
God.
child was slain near some caves, I believe.
Yeah, I remember him. I just like look around his house. Yeah,
I suppose it's the
okay.
least we can do since these lands are very foreign. I've never been this far north.
Nope. Me neither.
Mind you, it's mighty cold.
Gonna put on my owlbear clothes as well to get warm again.
Am I right in thinking that the fireplaces are only put out during night time? Yep. James?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've studied sort of this area before, considering you were sort of heading in this direction anyway. So
Yes.
you've sort of, you've heard about the everlasting winter. You've read about it in
I've
a
seen some
couple of
scriptures,
books. So you know that some towns within 10 towns, some of the towns make sacrifices to Ariel, the Frostmaiden. You're aware that Bremen sacrifices warmth, and this is usually between the hours of around 7 p.m. and 10 a.m.
Still pre 10 a.m. I'm guessing then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
So So they sacrifice the warmth until twilight starts.
That's okay. I'll warm myself up by casting a prestidigitation on my own clothes in that case to make them nice and cozy.
Okay, no worries.
I'm gonna go and have a real quick rummage in the kitchen, see if there's anything that I can have a little snack of.
Okay, so make an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh.
You find sort of at the back of like this sort of box some slightly stale and just beginning to turn sort of loaf of bread. It's still edible though.
Okay, I'll pick up the loaf of bread and how much of a loaf is there? Can I share it around?
Yeah, it's a full loaf of bread.
Okay, yeah, I'll start sharing bits round. And
Okay.
let everybody see, and let everybody have a bit, and go outside because I saw Bok leave, and offer him some as well.
Okay, no problem. So, as you're sharing the bread around, and you're sort of trying to get warm, Hayden emerges from the top of the stairs and sort of
You're
walks
stealing my
down.
fucking bread.
He sort of looks at you and just sort of shakes it off. He's not really that fussed about it. But he did notice that you've sort of rummaged through his kitchen.
Oh god.
Fucking hell.
And he comes downstairs and sort of looks at you and says, "Please, make yourself at home."
I just look really embarrassed. I'm like,
I believe Edriel already has.
I just look really embarrassed. I'm like, thank you so much for putting us up for the night.
My
Like-
pleasure.
Trying not to embarrass myself any further.
Well, everything should be opening real soon. And I need to get down to the stables and get those axe beaks ready. Have y'all thought about what I asked last night?
Just kind of look around at everyone else who's there.
Well, you did offer your home to us, so Johnny Flash will help you.
I appreciate that.
And I'll shoot doves out my sleeves when I say that.
Make a performance check.
Oh. This is a good excuse to check if my got
Roll
this
the
loaded,
one.
right?
Dead doves.
Dead
Oh,
doves.
obviously.
A frozen dove.
It's not doves. It's just
Dove.
dove poo. Dove poo
Pigeons.
just falls out your arms.
No, instead of
The,
dove, it's just like a London pigeon with missing toes.
Massive
Alright, well,
One-legged
the-
London pigeon.
The seagull just flies around attacking everything.
The London pigeon doesn't fly out of your sleeve. It sort of falls to the ground and has to sort of shake off some of the cold and rustles its feathers first, and then it just sort of flies off.
That's
And
with a 16. Oh man, I'm
the house.
rusty.
Yeah, that was a 16. Come on.
I mean, it is cold.
It's
Pigeons
cold. I
don't
have
really-
I need a full breakfast before Johnny Flash doesn't work on an empty stomach, and he's got an empty stomach right now, so he's not up to his tip-top level.
Alright, fine. I just look at him and just like hand him a chunk more bread.
Thank
Here you go, eat this. Because I know what he's like.
I'm a bit of a diva on an empty stomach.
Hayden just sort of looks a little bit confused as to why there was a pigeon in your sleeve, and
A magician never reveals his tricks. I've seen that look before. It's all part of the performance.
All right, well, I didn't ask, so, but I'm real grateful for y'all helping. Like I said, I don't have much information. There's been some whispers of other killings in other towns. Last I heard, there was one murder about 3 days back in Caradinaval. But the trail runs cold. Anyway, when you're ready, meet me by the stables, and I'll get your axe beaks ready. And he sort of like puts a backpack on and sort of walks out the door and walks.
Before you
walks
go,
past.
Hayden.
Yeah.
Do you have a map of the town? We're not too familiar with these parts.
I don't have a map, but the stable is sort of just behind Buried Treasures, where we met last night. You can't miss it.
We'll meet you there.
All right.
I'm gonna follow Hayden on out and bring the bread to Bok, because he's still outside.
While I was outside during all of that, I sort of had a nose around. Was there anything sort of out of the ordinary going on in the morning?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay. You when you sort of woke up, you saw two human men pulling a cart. The only thing that you saw with the contents of this cart, they were pulling it with the hands, seemed quite heavy. It took both of them, and they were quite big guys. You saw sort of like a cloth covering just sort of a lump of mess, and you did sort of catch a glimpse of an arm that was hanging from the side of the cart, and it was being pulled down this street here, sort of in this direction,
Okay.
and it turned up here. So this is Hayden's house here.
Yeah.
And then it's gone this way.
Any other goings on?
At the minute, it's just other people sort of getting ready for the day. There are a few sort of disgruntled fishermen sort of actually heading away from the docks. Sort of heading up this way.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of seemed a bit annoyed. But other than that, it's just people sort of opening up, getting ready to open up the shops and just sort of get ready for the day. So nothing out of the ordinary.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I just shrug it off and carry on about my day. Just sort of chilling out, eating my meats, waiting.
How
to see
much
what everyone else
meat did
is
you
doing.
take?
I can't remember, to be honest. A lot.
A
How
lot.
much did I
Stuffed all
spend? I
your
spent like
pockets, didn't
8
you?
gold's worth, and I'm pretty sure I pocketed some more.
Yeah, so you probably took about, I would say, at least maybe in terms of mass, I would say probably like 2.5 chickens worth of meat, like
Okay.
just bits of random meat.
Yeah, it's whatever I was ripping off. It was
Yeah.
whatever I was ripping off what was hanging over the fire.
Yeah, you've got bits of like venison, you've got chicken, you've got
Cool.
fish, you've got all sorts of stuff. Just a big mound of just random meats.
And
It
did you
smells,
sleep with
by the
those in
way.
your
It
pocket?
doesn't
Yeah, I was
smell
gonna
good.
say, didn't you sleep overnight with those in your pockets? Just sweating
None of
in
your
there.
business.
Keeping it warm.
It's under it's under my new winter clothing, so hopefully that masks the smell.
Well, it's not. The meat's not warm. It's chilled, but it's not frozen.
That's fine. I can handle it.
So, Adriel, you head out to see Bok.
Yeah, I guess he's just stood there eating his meat, and I just walk over and say, "You want some bread with that meat?"
No. No, thank you.
Oh. Okay.
I drop a little bit of meat onto the bread that she'd offered up to me.
Thank you. Just are you sat or are you
I'm standing.
standing? You're standing.
Did you drop it accidentally?
No, I
He
placed
gave
it.
it to me.
Like it just falls out of your hand onto the bread. It's
Looked down
actually
my
that
mouth
bad.
when I said no.
Yeah. Okay. So, at this point, it's probably around sort of 7:45, and sort of everything's starting to open up now, and sort of get ready. Like everyone's sort of starting the day. Okay, so it's up to you guys. You can explore the town. You can head straight to the stables. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want.
I would love to have a chat with Var and Gozo before we leave Hayden's house.
Okay.
Alright.
So, do you two remember how you got in that wagon?
Not the foggiest idea. Last thing I remember was we just had a little bit of a brawl with someone, set up a fire afterwards to get warm, and then the next thing I know, we wake up in that cage.
We looked into the flames.
I was gonna say, you seemed quite capable in combat. Who are you people?
Just, an honest priest of the Fire God Orson.
This is going on. I want to come back in. Maybe beckon Bok to come over as well. I said just like let's go get ready for the day, because I want to I want to be able to overhear any kind of these conversations and have a chat and get to know people as well.
Okay.
Yeah, before we carry on, I ignore what Adariel said and just stay outside.
Great.
We're
He's
just
just gonna
travelers.
Batman, just look into the distance and brood.
Yeah.
So before you carry on, Adriel, how are you wanting to? So if you want to listen to the conversation, do you just want to make your presence known, or do you want to try and?
Just walk back in. Just walk
Okay.
back into the room because I was
That's fine.
outside.
All right, no problem.
Mind you, Var, you do not take this the wrong way, but you do not look like your everyday priest.
Well, I'm more what they'd probably call a warrior priest, you see. I'm
You're a priest.
devout to my gods, but I'm one of his warriors. So the church, I get sent wherever the god wants me to. The church asks me to help out here and there with the needs.
So
And
you
you
heard
said
tales
before-
of the Dale as well?
Sorry, what was that?
Have you heard about the tales of the Dale as well, then? Of this
No,
never-ending
not
winter?
so much the tales of the Dale. This was just a message that we'd received and to head up north, and that is where I'm heading. We believe there's some darkness or some evil here, and I'm here to help combat that.
See.
We don't know any details other than that, really.
My might be worth us sticking together then, I suppose. I don't believe we've made formal acquaintances. I'm Johnny Flash, wizard extraordinaire, famous in all the Sword Coast. You might have heard of me.
I
No?
can't say I've heard of a Mr. Flash, I'm afraid. Is
Hmm.
it
Oh, how about my compatriots? Edriel,
Johnny, Mr. Flash?
Master of Fire. Have you heard of Edriel?
No, can't say I have. All of you
Damn.
look unfamiliar, to be honest.
And Adolamin. Actually, mind you, Adolamin, you seem awfully quiet this morning. Everything
At this
okay?
point, I'm like staring at the at like my hands towards the floor, and I just sort of snap out like, yeah. Sorry, you Var, was it?
Yeah, that's right. It's Var.
Oh no,
And
I'm pretty pleased we had
one
you.
who was thrusting his hips in the inn yesterday. For some free food and drink. Thank you very much for that.
That's okay. You know, a bit of music, a bit of pageantry. It's got the three of us where we are at the moment. You know, that's how we sort of got by recently.
That's how we apparently ended up here as well.
Yeah.
I
You
did
guys
not know that was going to happen when we went to that seedy tavern, I swear.
Mm-mm.
How
Who
exactly
meets
did
in an
you guys
alleyway?
end up in the cage?
Well, I was supposed to meet a guy who knows a guy about something I've been researching.
You know, it's a shady deal when somebody wants to meet you down a dodgy, dark alleyway.
It wasn't that dark.
It was dark enough, apparently.
We've been in worse taverns performing.
That's true. But this definitely wasn't worth the free drinks you promised us to come with you to that dodgy meeting.
Well, think of it as an adventure, Adelaman. You always said you wanted to go on an adventure.
Yeah, I feel like we're on an adventure right now, you know? These guys with the... You say you were a warrior priest, I think I heard then?
Of sorts.
And how about you, Gozor?
I'm just a paladin of the realm. I'm a traveller. I travelled the world trying to help people, and I come across Var here, who told me of his god. And I thought, why not give him a go? I've been looking for something to believe in.
You're on a
You
trial
sound like a
run
man after my
with
own heart.
divinity, are you?
Sorry? That's what you said.
Are you doing a 7-day free trial of his god, are you?
No money back there.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah. I've yet to find a worthy god to believe in. Seems to keep letting me down.
Hey, man. But,
I wonder about the guy outside, though, as well.
It seemed very ominous. Ominous, I think the word is. Or
He's a
what's his
bugbear, what
story?
do you expect?
I'm not too sure. I've never met him.
Please pack up. No.
Gonna square up to me.
What did you say about bugbears?
Oh, bitch.
No.
How tall,
I don't
how
hear
tall
it.
are bugbears?
Yeah,
How tall are you?
I'm not actually that tall for a bugbear. I'm about 6'5". I'm one of the more stunted bugbears.
I'm 7 foot. Yeah.
Oh, I was tall being 5 foot. Well, 5'6" or whatever, but you know.
well, whether he's a bit sort of reclusive and dark and somber or not, the way he split that wolf in half yesterday, I was sure glad to have him around.
Yeah, maybe we'll find out a bit more about him if we
Do
we
you
travel
think
with
if
him
we
a bit
feed
more.
it more meat, it'll warm up to us?
Maybe. Yeah. Does seem to like the meat.
Is
It
that
did
offensive
not
to
want any
bugbears? I
bread.
don't know.
Is your pet?
He didn't want any bread. So
Seems
yeah,
to like
but,
meat. Over
yeah,
bread.
maybe you're right.
It's a keto diet.
Keto diet, yeah. For sure.
So, what do you guys think
Is it-
about helping this guy?
suppose it's the least we can do, isn't it?
I mean, he's been pretty good to us. He's given us shelter and cloaks and questionable food.
Very questionable.
The
Speaking
food
of
was
food,
fine.
we might want to
Sorry about the.
pick up some food in town if this place is far away.
Do
We go
know?
next door?
I'm not too sure. I didn't quite pick up the details of where this location is, but I presume it's a fair bit of travel if you have to travel by. Was it Axe Peaks you mentioned?
Yeah. Chocobos, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
They are
very-
pretty much chocobos, but much,
Yeah.
I
much
know.
bigger.
Chocobos, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some pictures. They have like
Do, do,
axe-shaped
do,
beaks,
do.
and otherwise they're just
Do.
chocobos, aren't they?
He mentioned the city of Bryn Shander. That's where he mentioned.
Could you pop in Roll20 how to spell that so I can make sure I write it down in my notebook correctly?
I can indeed.
Yeah, that one I'm probably gonna butcher that one. Bremen not too bad, but yeah, I was definitely gonna butcher that one.
That was way off.
It's just the I. I had the rest of it right. The what I was a Y.
Hmm. The
Okay,
city's weird that they got murdered there. Is it
that
an
a
abandoned
place?
city or?
I thought you said he got murdered in a cave.
Yeah, I thought it was a cave. That's why I
Yeah.
had written down.
I think
Yeah,
he
so-
said there was a
cave
murder
near
3
that
days
place,
ago in
I-
the city.
Oh.
Right, I didn't get that part.
Yeah, you were AFK.
Oh, well, that'll be why then.
Yeah, his son was murdered in a cave after they went out hunting. Hayden had gone to explore, and when he came back, he came back to his son dead on the floor with a frozen dagger in his chest. It was a dagger made of ice, just stuck in his chest. And
With
Hayden,
Bryn Shander. We know
Go
about
ahead.
Hayden dying. His son dying.
yeah. So so he'd heard a rumor about a death that was sort of done in a similar fashion
Right.
in Bryn Shander.
Okay.
We fighting White Walkers. That was going on.
Our option either go to the cave or go to the city of Bryn Shander and try and discover what could be causing these deaths.
I'd say we track down the murderer
Yeah, but
and
how?
put him to fire. Not by any means necessary. We'll ask around.
Johnny
You wanna-
Flash
you-
has his
About this
ways, and I'll
ice knife.
spawn more London pigeons.
I prefer the idea of going to this town and asking around before just
Okay.
going and potentially getting killed straight away. I just smile at them like, hee hee hee.
We might as well ask Bok if he wants to tag along, I suppose. Anyone had any prior dealings with bugbears? Do they even speak common?
Yeah, they
I've
speak.
spoken to you guys. You
Yeah,
know I can
he
speak.
speaks
Common.
common.
Spoken to us.
We've heard him.
Just seems like a man of a few words, so I don't know how
That is true.
competent his common
Definitely.
is.
Sure, if you've got something you might listen to. Yeah.
If you've got some meat, yeah.
So what's the plan? Prepare to leave this village, go to this city, find out about these ice knives and kill the murderer.
Look out
Put
to
him to
them, yeah, I
fire,
suppose so.
shall I say. Sounds good to me.
And then, off to town we go. There must be somewhere here we can get some rations, some food, I suppose.
Do you have
Bok
money?
has I have a little bit of coin. I'm sure we could bought some food if we were to perform in the various taverns in town.
Yeah. I don't mind working for money.
Might as well ask around, see where we can get the lay of the land, as they say. Never know.
Well,
You could always ask Bok. He has a nose for food. If we just follow him, I'm sure we'll find whoever has some food, or particularly meats in town.
He has a nose for trouble more than food.
I was pulling a shocked face there.
You can't hear us.
No, I know. That's why I didn't react in game.
You just sneeze as your nose is burning, right? Someone's talking about you. Well,
Okay, let's go.
as we get a move on.
Yeah, let's gather some information, whatever we can, and then make our way.
Okay, so as you start gathering your things and collecting everything, and you all head outside, everyone but Bok, who is already outside, and also Adriel, who has already been outside, you all notice immediately the difference in temperature. Even though it's still quite cold inside, outside there's a bit of a chill from the wind, and it's much colder. Still dark. It's about, I would say, 8:15 at this point in the morning. But there's people about, sort of going about the business, getting ready for the day. Things are being lit up, sort of around the town. Johnny, you know that they sacrifice their warmth between the hours of sort of 7 p.m. and 10 a.m. So you know that they sacrifice the warmth, but that doesn't mean that they can't have light. So you come out and you can still see sort of lanterns about and things like that, with things are being lit up to let people know that things are opening.
Do we see
Are we
any
heading outside?
populace? Or do we see any people heading in a certain direction, or any noise in town where it seems like a hubbub is happening, or just quiet still this early in the morning?
No, it's actually, even though it's still dark, it's quite busy. You can see there's people sort of dragging boats and things down towards the lake. Sort of in the sort of from where you are, they're sort of heading down. Where Bok noticed the cart of bodies being taken, sort of people heading in that direction with some small boats and things. So it is quite busy.
Okay, I wanna walk over, and I'm gonna shout over to whoever's literally closest. I'm gonna sort of raise my hand and walk over to him and be like, "Good morning," and try and engage them in conversation.
Okay, so you head over. You sort of, as you sort of jump down from the step, because all of the houses in Bremen are slightly raised off the ground, with steps going up. So, you're big enough to just walk right under the houses, because of your sort of short stature. So you come down off the stairs, and you sort of have to do a bit of a jump to get onto the path below, and you sort of go into the snow, and you sort of run over. You're struggling a little bit because the snow is quite thick in places. It's quite uneven. You can see places where things have been dragged and footprints and things, but because you're quite short, it's still quite a bit of a, it's about ankle height for you. Everyone else, you can just sort of step in it, no problem. But you walk over, and you sort of grab the attention of a human male. And as you look up, you immediately recognize him from last night. And he says,
Robbie.
"Oh, Oh, all right. I remember you from last night. How you
what was
doing? You go
was
to
his
buried
name?
treasures then?
Was it Rob, the fisherman? Robbie.
It's Robbie. Yeah.
Robbie. We did know his name, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were like, "Good morning, Robbie." Yeah. We went over to the buried treasure. Great suggestion by you. Thanks for that. We really
Oh,
appreciate that.
oh, it's my pleasure. Did they have a room?
Unfortunately, not. We did make do
Oh,
for the night though. It was nice to get some hot food, some nice drinks. So thank you for the suggestion.
oh, and it's my pleasure. Uh, how can I help you this morning?
I wanted to ask you a question actually. What do you know? What do you know of the city of Bryn Shander? How can we get there from here?
Oh, oh yeah, Brunshander. I mean, it's the largest town of the 10 towns. Uh, not not too far away from here. Uh, on foot, probably. You're probably looking at about 4 hours.
Okay, on foot. What if we had some form of travel, say like Axpeak or something like that?
Oh, an axe beak. Oh, well, I think Hayden's got some axe beaks. I'm sure he'll be able to lend you some or allow you to rent one. Uh, oh, maybe 40 minutes.
Oh wow, okay. Speaking of Hayden, do you hear about what happened to his son?
Oh, aye, real shame. His wife too. Uh, yeah, real sad.
Yeah,
We get
he seems pretty broke up about it.
yeah. Well, he's not the only one. Uh, we've all lost something in the last couple of years. Uh, Unfortunately, it's quite common.
Do you know anything about what happened to his son?
Uh, Murder, apparently. Uh, Other than that, I'm not sure. Uh, but real sad. Well, I'm sure you head down to the inn. Sure, there'll be someone there that probably has more information.
Okay, thank you, Robbie. I really appreciate you helping us.
Oh, anytime.
Okay, I'm gonna wade back over to the group.
Okay, he sort of nods and then sort of picks up his boat over his shoulder and starts heading back towards the docks.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over to the group. Okay, so Bryn Shander seems to be about 40 minutes from here on Axpeak. With these things, they seem to be pretty quick, so we should be able to get there quite fast. He doesn't know anything about this murder of. He just knows that Hayden's son was murdered, and that's it. But he recommended we check the inn out, or one of the inns, try and get a bit more information, see what we can get, and see if we can get pointed in a direction, eh?
Was it one of those inns? And I point towards the shitty ones. Or was it that one over there? And I point to the one we went to. What was it called?
Buried
Very-
Buried
treasures.
treasure.
He didn't really say either way. He just said go to an inn. How about you pick for us, Bach?
I hop off the stairs, like little jump off the steps into the snow, and I point towards the buried treasure and go, "That one's food was good." And start walking off ahead.
The
Tell
big
you
guy's
what,
spoken. Let's go.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that just because you pretty much know all of the different places, so you should be able to see like pointing at the different places.
Oh yeah, I see him. That's pretty good actually. That's actually really handy. That.
Yeah.
You pretty much know where you're going now, so I can reveal that. Okay, so you're heading over to Buried Treasures.
Yeah.
Okay, so you, as you sort of get closer, Bok, you immediately notice the smell of warm cooking meat. I mean, you're still quite far. You're like halfway there, and you can already smell it. It's really just the best smell ever to you at the minute. The last couple of days have been pretty rough, so even though you've had quite a lot of meat, you're still quite hungry. The rest of you, as soon as you sort of get a little bit closer as well, you start to smell it as well. As you sort of head round to the entrance, you can actually, I'll tell you what, can everyone make a perception check for me, please?
Keep trying
Alice
to
is a
go
bit
autopilot
busy,
and write it
so-
down.
Can make one for her.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like
that's
I
fine.
picked the first one.
Okay, so Var, have you
Plus
made
5,
2?
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's take the 16, not the 24.
Yeah, okay. So, Adalamin, Var, Gozor, you, and actually Edriel as well. I'm assuming Edriel's the top, or is that you?
What? No, that was an old perception check. I didn't. Make
Oh, was
one.
it? Sorry.
Doing perception checks, I can do one now. I'm back.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Starts from
Yeah.
Adrian, I think.
First in the
Yeah,
few.
start from Adrian.
There we
Yeah.
go.
No.
And Edriel. So everyone but Bok and
Damn Bok.
Johnny Flash. Bok is just
Food.
focused on the
Not so
food.
good.
So
Bok
Bok is
is
just
looking for the
focused on the food, and
I'm starting to sense a theme in this character.
Quicken my pace.
Johnny, you're
I'm
you're sort
intrigued
of
by
like
Bok. I'm dumbfounded by his. Like, he's just salivating all over the place.
yeah. So you're just watching Bok and
Yeah.
occasionally checking your sleeve as well to just check on any other pigeons
Just to make sure
that
the
might
birds
be
are still
under there.
alive. Yeah, just to make sure they're still alive. They are minor illusions, by the way. They're not living pigeons. It's okay.
Right, okay, that's fair enough. By the way, the pigeon didn't die, it just sort of like...
I like the idea of not
shook
eating
its
anything.
feathers.
It just like fizzled and just dies. It's just like a
Yeah.
shit illusion.
Right, fair enough. Right, so as you all sort of head round the front entrance of Buried Treasure, which is on this side, all but Bok and Johnny, you sort of, all your eyes are sort of taken away from the entrance of the inn and sort of over the cliff edge. You can see at the bottom, it's quite well lit, the bottom. You see 2 men and a cart, and they've uncovered about a dozen bodies, and they're just throwing them onto this huge wooden pyre. Looking at it, it doesn't seem like there's any form of emotion going into it. Like, looking at it, it's like another day. And they're just sort of throwing these bodies onto this wooden pyre at the bottom of the cliff, just by the river's edge. And then sort of goes up in flames. Are you? So you're heading into the inn?
Yeah, I've walked into the inn. As soon as
You're
I'm
already
there,
in.
straight
I'm
in.
assuming
right
you're
behind
already
him.
eating.
I'm not
Yeah.
going up the hill.
No. Okay.
Is there any? Is there actually any food displayed at the minute?
Yeah, there are. There are foods. The only thing that's cooked at the moment are some of the fish, the knucklehead trout that's sort of hanging
Okay.
around. There are other sort of meats hanging above the fire, but it's not ready yet. It's only sort of been put on in the last 10 minutes or so.
Is Cora in?
Yeah, you can see Cora. She's sort of like running about, and she's sort of running back and forth from the bar to the pit, sort of hanging things up and just sort of getting ready to feed everyone.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over to the bar and sort of get her attention and ridiculous slam my fist on the counter.
Hey, make an
Just angry,
intimidation
stop banging
check.
things.
Intimidation check. Okay.
Are you trying?
Accidental
It's
intimidation.
like even if you don't mean to intimidate her, you're banging your fist on the, and you are a scary bugbear. So,
Monster.
so you,
Aww,
do you
bless.
she's sort of, her back is just sort of facing away, and she's sort of like sort of cleaning the inside of these wooden cups, and you slam your fist down onto the bar, and it just shakes the entire thing, and like some of the cups and things just start shake on the back wall, and the barrels that are next to her that are full of mead just sort of slosh a little bit, and like some of it splashes onto the floor, and she jumps. She goes, oh, oh,
I sort of
hey.
look around and then turn my attention to her, and I put 5 gold pieces on the counter.
She just sort of looks at you like quite annoyed, like, and just says, "You could have just said my name, Christ!" And she turns around and is like,
Please.
We need food and supplies. I can give you this, and I put 5 gold pieces on the counter.
"Right, well, I can. Oh, you almost gave me a heart attack." Ooh. And she's just sort of like actually clutching her chest. It's like proper. Steve really scared her. Right, well, I can certainly feed you, but if you want supplies, that's to go. To go to the general store. And she's just
What
sort
about
of like,
the food?
"There we go." Oh. She just sort of sits down, like he freaks
Give her
her
a
out.
bloody heart attack, Bok. What are you doing?
She's swooning.
What's everyone else doing while this conversation's going?
Just I'm just watching in amazement at what's happening. Sorry, Barley. Oh.
Well,
That's
it
off.
takes a second for her to
Right.
gather, to sort of calm down. Like, it's like, oh, hey, please don't do that ever again. All right?
So I just stare and roll my eyes.
Right. I've got fish at the moment. If you're after meat, probably be another couple of hours.
The fish will do.
Right.
I will take some of your fish.
I mean, 5 gold. 5 gold is a lot, by the way. Are you sure you want 5 gold's worth of fish?
I didn't say I wanted 5 gold's worth of fish. I just slapped 5 gold pieces.
Oh, right,
on
okay.
it.
Right, no
In case
worries.
of Bok doesn't understand the concept of money.
I get money, but I'm too lazy to count it out.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Right. How many fish would you like?
How big are these fish?
They are quite big, actually. They are probably, I would say, probably about 1.5 foot long and about 6 inches wide.
And what about fish size?
Wow.
Yeah, she just slams a massive cock on the table.
Again,
Are you looking for?
So yeah, they are quite big.
How much would 3 get me? Like, how much would that cost for 3 of those?
Three trout. 2 silver.
Get my little adorable coin pouch out. Start counting out the pennies.
Like a little bunny.
Drop. Put my little tiny reading glasses on as well. Picking them out. I pick out 2 silver pieces and put them on the table and then scrape my 5 gold pieces back into my coin
Okay.
pouch.
No problem. Right. Just help yourself. There's just take 3 from there, from the fire there.
Cool. Alright, I sort of just nod in understanding. I walk over to the fish and eye up the ones I like, pick them up
As-
and tie them to my my sort of harness bit on the back, so it sort of hangs under the cape.
Okay.
Fucking stink.
As you sort of walk towards the pit, you can just hear her say, "Fuck me, man."
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna grip my great axe and grit my teeth, and then stop.
she doesn't see it. She's already turned around. She sort of said that as she was turned around to leave.
I'm gonna start hooting and howling in rage. Like a fucking angry ape. No, I'm
Do you
not.
actually? Do you? No. Okay. Okay. What's everyone else doing?
I think
I wanted to go up the hill to those people burning the bodies.
Yeah, I want to follow as well.
Same.
Okay. So you want to go down. So it's down. So where you are outside buried treasures, it's sort of down the cliff.
So did no one come with me?
I
I'm
did.
with you.
Oh, okay.
Everyone
Okay.
did.
Adriel and Johnny flashed it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you other 3 are going to go down to the pyre.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna
So-
like nudge Var as we're going down, and like looking at these guys burning bodies. I'm gonna say, are these any of your guys?
No. These look like they're just getting rid of corpses. They're not doing any of our rituals.
Jesus. Does this not strike you
At
as
least
odd?
I'm assuming they're just burning bodies and not doing any of the.
Yeah, it didn't
Um,
look like any rituals, did it?
Make a religion check. You're not really sure. You just see that they're burning bodies, and sort of that's just piqued your interest. You just sort of wanting to know more about what's going on, but you're not entirely sure what's actually happening. The cliff is quite high up. It's about 30 feet or so high, so it's tough for you to tell.
Just gonna pretend like I know what I'm talking about. And be like, no, they're not doing it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I believe it.
Persuasion check, yeah.
So as you head down, so it's you sort of head down. So it's like a big hill. So all of these, I'll just get the. So all of these here are sort of heading down a hill, and you come round here, sort of on the river's edge, and the pyre is about here. So as you get down there, you can see that this pyre, I mean, it's quite big, and underneath it, there's quite a big pile of ash as well. It looks like a lot of bodies have been burned here, and even though that some of it is disturbed, or it looks like they've been shifting it, like it's just piled up of ash. So essentially, this pyre is sat on top of a huge bed of ash.
Right.
sort of next to it, you can see this big crane as well, and it's got sort of steps going up, sort of up the side of it. And at the top of hanging off this crane is like a huge box. And I believe some of you saw this the previous night as they just released quite a lot of snow from the box to extinguish the fire. So you already know what that crane is for. As you head down there, you've got the two guys. They're sort of quite scruffy looking, but they've got sort of big, thick sort of furs, but the furs are sort of misshapen and they don't really look like they go together. It just looks like it's just been bits of different animal furs have just been thrown together, like just bits of scraps to make these big coats. And they're just sort of stood at the fire and just holding their hands out to try and keep warm.
How many of them is there?
There's just two.
Just two fellas.
Yeah, two human males.
Right. I'm just gonna walk up to them then and say, "What happened to these bodies?"
So they both turn around, and as soon as they see you, they sort of like drop. The jaws drop, and they say, they died. We're not sure how."
I know that. They died. You have no idea how they died. Why are you carting them up here?
Well, I think only one of them is our dead. The others are just from the surrounding areas, travellers. Anyone who dies sort of around the town, we need to collect. It attracts animals.
I'm done with your question.
They are like just so they are quite scared, visibly scared. They've just seen a giant lion man, 7 feet tall. So clearly they've never seen a Leonin before. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna like under my breath, like I'm gonna come round closer to them and be like, "It's best not to stare. You'll only make him upset."
So they still stare for a second, and then their eyes just sort of slowly wander down. And as soon as it sort of meets normal eye level, they sort of shake their head a little bit and then head down a little more, and then they see you and sort of jump back a bit. It's like, oh, yes, yeah, of course. Yeah, staring's bad. Sorry. How can we help?
Do you know? I'm sorry.
You go, you.
Who is it that gave you this job to cart the dead over to this pyre? Is there anyone that we can talk to, like a village elder or anyone?
We don't have any village elders or anything like that, but it's. I mean, we've had this job for a while. Our speaker, his name is Dorblegruff. He gave us the job.
And where can we find him?
He lives down at over at the town hall. But he's not well. But I'm sure his assistant will help you.
Okay. Vars, or anything you'd like to ask these two gentlemen?
Oh, yes. I was just wondering, you're saying these are travellers, but we were led to the assumption that people can't actually travel here at the moment because of the spell.
Oh, no. It's not people travelling from outside of the Dale. It's people travelling between 10 towns. Blizzards and the weather just changes so quickly. It's very difficult for people, and not everybody makes it.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for your time, gentlemen.
Thank you,
No
gentlemen.
problem.
Carry on. Keep
They
warm.
just sort of look back up at you and like they're just sort of starstruck.
I was going to waltz back off then. Waltz back up the hill.
Okay. So where are you heading then?
Heading
back
back
to the inn.
You're going back to the inn. No problem.
Yeah.
All right. So it takes you about 5 minutes to get back up at the inn. While they're sort of heading back, what are you three doing?
I'm still picking out the perfect fish.
I'm just I'm
Be there for
I'm just
20
chilling
minutes of
out.
staring down.
Important.
sat at a table, just chilling out.
Okay.
I'd
Okay.
like to approach Cora Mulfoon, if my notes are right.
Or a tea leaf.
Yeah, it is Cora Mulfoon. You're just
I'm
approaching
so bad.
approaching Cora.
Yeah, I'll try and pick her brains, get the gist of what's going on here in Bremen. What's the deets?
All right. So as you head over to the bar, she's still sort of like getting things organized and things. So, and she spots you. She's sort of keeping an eye out now of people in the tavern, and she sort of her eyes meet yours, and she sort of turns around and greets you with a smile and says, "Hello, dearie. You're not going to scare the shit out of me, are you?" She's
oh no,
Irish now. I
he's
don't know why.
quite fearsome, isn't he?
That's one word for it.
Sure, he's harmless, yet everything I've seen from him so far is
Oh.
contrary to that.
I'm sure. You caught me off guard, that's all.
I see. It's not every day we see a bugbear, that's for sure.
Ah, bugbear. I've heard of them.
So did
Not
I.
seen any though.
Say they're
That's
fairly
licking her
reclusive
lips.
lot.
You coming on to her?
Not me.
No. Okay. Well, licking your lips.
She started licking her lips.
Oh right, I thought you were licking your lips at her.
Oh, bugbear. Delicious.
Oh god.
Oh.
So, and how can I help you, dearie?
So I wanted to know more about Bremen. What's the going on? What's the stories, the rumours? Hayden has obviously got in touch with us regarding his son. Any peculiar deaths?
Aye.
Any murders?
Truth be told, not much goes on here. It's a quiet town. Except the fishermen are quite riled up at the moment. I'm not sure I believe them, but they say there's a monster in the lake.
Monster in the lake, you say?
A monster in the lake.
I'll start awkwardly laughing with her as well.
Aye. I mean, don't get me wrong. We get monsters, but you know, never had anything in the lake. It's frozen.
Is that our character real quick?
Okay.
Doug, is that a hint that you want a quick break? I forgot I had that bloody thing on.
No, it's just running ads.
Are you actually running ads?
You actually redeemed. You want me to run some ads?
No, don't run ads.
I was thinking of pressing that as well.
Just see what happens.
Literally, it's just me. I run a minute worth of ads.
No, don't run an ad then.
We'll wait for an important part to come
Yeah.
on.
wait for some juicy action and run some ads. No,
I
don't
completely
run
forgot
ads.
to mention that to James. I took everything else off. I forgot to take that bloody one off. Anyway, sorry.
That's pretty good.
Broke the immersion a little bit there. It's like, wait, how am I going to get this to work?
You
We're going to find a good
careful.
time for this.
This made me laugh though.
Monster Lake. Who has anyone been talking about in particular?
Aye. I mean, most of the fishermen are quite scared. But, I mean, really, it's mostly Grensk.
Grinsk.
Aye, Grensk. He's a fisherman. Yeah. Basically likes to tell tales, if you will. It's not the first time he's done it. But
Well, I know someone who's very much into tall tales.
aye. I can tell you who isn't. A fisherman.
Well, has there actually been stuff happening in the lake?
So he says. But I don't really believe him. He's always telling tales.
I'll
I
keep
think
in
he does
mind,
it.
though.
So he takes all the fish for himself.
Ah, one of those, eh?
Aye. He's the type.
Oh, well. Keep in mind, you never know. I have read up in scripture before that sometimes these stories end up being true, or somewhat true at the very least. Anything else going on, Cora? Is there anywhere you would suggest us go to get supplies? We were aiming to potentially travel to Bryn Shander soon to assist Hayden's investigation.
Brent Shander. Aye. I mean, you could go to Lucian's general store. He just sells general bits and bats.
Definitely pop by. Thank you very much for your time, Cora, and I'll hand her a copper piece.
Thank you very much.
I keep thinking you're talking to me when you say Cora.
It's a bit weird. I have to
Really
literally look at my
annoying.
notes all the time.
That's her name in the book. I am so sorry.
I know. I just keep being like, oh yeah, or oh, it's not me.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I can't remove a copper, which is kind of awkward. Do I need to break down currency or something?
no. You have you got any copper?
I have 15 gold.
So you've got no copper pieces.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, is she able to give me change?
Yeah,
I'll give a man an illusion. I'll give a man an illusion of a copper.
I mean, as soon as she touches it, you know that it's just going to disappear.
I'll just say it's all part of the act.
It turns into pigeons.
Okay.
Turns to pigeons.
All right. So she goes to pick up the copper piece. It sort of dissipates in her hand, and she's like,
Holding a pigeon now, yeah.
she just looks at you like, right. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you do ever need some performance, again, to liven up the tavern, to cheer up the mood, just remember
Aye.
good old Johnny Flash.
Aye. I was going to mention that to you. Brilliant. The guests loved it.
Mind you, I must. Adalam is taking his time. I'll need to find where he is. He might have got himself lost again, or trying to find an adventure or some tall tale to add to his collection. I'll
What do
be
you
on my
say
way,
that?
Cora.
They've just walked through the door.
Ah, that's perfect timing. Speak to the devil, as they say. I'll beckon Adalam to come over.
I'm going to confidently stride over, seeing like, did I catch that they were speaking about me as I came in?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
I thought you just assumed he did.
Every room you
Probably.
walk into, you
That
just
is
think everyone's
about
talking
right.
about you.
Yeah. 8. So, not great.
No. You are too focused on trying your best to look as confident as possible.
In doing that, I'm going to like stride through the door and be like, fear not, I have returned.
Oh God.
Just finger gunning everyone as you come in.
You're
Strut in, like-
you're a
I'm gonna
halfling, right?
awkwardly finger gun in return as well.
Yeah, I'm a
Spider-Man
halfling.
2. Spider-Man 3.
James, are these human-sized stools? Are they tall stools at the bar?
They are, yeah. So I mean, there are a mixture of like, so everything at the
Oh,
tables,
I want to
they're all
offer
human
like
sized.
I want to offer my hands out to Adalamin as if I was a parent wanting to lift a toddler up to a high chair.
Well, there are
Get 'em
some
up on the bar.
smaller stools and smaller sort of like with like ladders on. So they're like bigger stools, but they've got ladders on. So
Okay,
that
they're small people friendly.
yeah, they're just sort of off to one side. Sort of like when you go to a McDonald's and the baby chairs are sort of
Yeah.
off to one side.
Tucked to one corner. You're just
Accessibility
dragging one
stool.
over,
Just,
Yeah.
screeching
floor.
across the entire floor. Any day now, Adalamin. You know I could just lift you up on one of these big boy stools, right?
I'll just stand with like my hands on my hips and a cocked eyebrow.
ready to be lifted.
You put your arms up,
Um,
Daddy.
Adalamin, Cora here mentioned of a story you might be interested in about a monster in a lake.
Interesting. Where is this lake?
Outside. It's Mayor Dwaldon, I think it was, right?
Mayor de Walden.
I have no idea how to pronounce that one.
Oh,
Apparently, yeah,
and where did tales of
fit-
this monster come from?
Apparently, some fisherman named, if I've got the name right, Grisk, was it?
Grinsk. So
Grinsk,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's spelled Grinsk.
Oh, I did spell it right. Awesome. Grinsk. This fisherman Grinsk has been ranting and raving about some monster in the lake. Might be one you want to nosy on about and find out get to the bottom of it.
I mean, that does sound pretty interesting.
Worst
But
case,
with
we'll
how
get a
crazy
comedy
this
story.
place has been, that's true. But with how crazy this place has been so far, I don't want to risk that. I'm not getting eaten by some monster in a lake.
Oh, that's a good point, Cora. Did he mention it was a big monster? A friendly monster, perhaps?
Nah, just said a monster.
Damn. I'll yell over to Bok. How good are you with dealing with monsters?
I just sort of turn and shrug. Mm.
You're still like still looking at the fish, trying to decide.
So I picked my fish now. I sort of, at this moment, yeah, I fish picking my fish, and I sort of listen in, but from a distance, and I'm just I sort of shrug. Depends on the monster, I suppose.
A lake monster? You had any dealings with those before?
No, I tend not to get wet.
I'll make a note of that in my little notebook with my wizard
Tends
quill.
not to get wet.
I can produce a wizard quill as part of being a scribe wizard, and it'll be made out of an ostrich feather.
Okay.
So it's going to be nearly the size of a torso,
Right, no worries.
and I'll jot it down in my little book. Bugbears do
Okay.
not like water, or getting wet, rather. Again, Cora, thank you for your time. If you do want us to perform, Adalamin is our frontman. He organises all performances.
Ah. Well, that'd be great. After last night, how could I say no?
Absolutely. If you do want us to perform again, I mean, if you let us know earlier in the day, we'd be happy for you to charge, 10 copper a head. We'll take 50% of the profits there.
Oh.
Works out pretty well.
What a splendid idea. I'm afraid the people in this town don't have that much coin, though. We are a small village, and there's not much work going on here.
That's okay. I'm assuming they have even less entertainment.
Quite right. I'll
Gonna
think
milk
about
the
it.
town dry for just to get rich, are we? Is that what we're doing?
Just like smirking.
I mean,
like,
it fits in my bonds and ideals, so I'm all for it. I don't care if they're poor.
I do. I'm good.
You're like the only one with a good conscience in that trio.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we're poor too.
But we could be less poor.
I'm gonna speak to Cora. I'm gonna say, hey, is that a common occurrence? Them burning bodies down by the riverbank?
Aye. Every other day we get people in this town die, and then there's the people who are trying to get here as well, or even just to pass through. Real shame.
Even traveling from one town to another in 10 towns, you could die. I thought
Oh.
it was fairly safe around here.
No, it's quite dangerous. Even from here to Argos, it's quite a treacherous trek if you don't know what you're doing, you know.
Did you say to Argos?
I think Targos, was it?
Targos.
I thought Argos then.
Yeah, I think
I was going to
so.
say, why are all,
That's
like,
the
are all the chavvy kids out there waiting for the 10 quid jewellery?
Why I laughed. I was like,
Yeah, Targos with a T.
I'm going to Argos.
Oh gosh.
Oh god.
We can pick up a flat screen.
Dangerous at Argos. They might trap you in the goods lift.
That's how they get everything. There's just a wizard in the back just conjuring everything that people need.
Why do you think they have so many bodies here? It's because people
I wish
die
there was a
of,
wizard in the back.
Anything
Right,
you
so-
suggest we pick up, Cora? Or we make headway towards Sander?
Oh, sorry. You know what? I actually thought you were speaking to Alice then for a second.
Oh, no.
Oh, so did
I might
innit?
need to change the
because I
name
said
of this
Cora, I
NPC, you know.
Say Coral or something like that.
She just says to you, and says, it's normally it's about 2 hours to Targos. It's the town between us and Bryn Shander. I have a map if you want to see it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be delightful. So you say Targos is you would go to Targos first and then bring Shander? Is it like a
Well,
little
you have
pit
to
stop on the
pass
way?
through.
Oh,
Aye.
okay, I see.
I'd stay on the path. If you stay on the path, you have to pass through there anyway. I tell you what, I'll just go get me map. And she sort of heads out into the sort of in the back, and I'm just going to bring.
I'll
this
usher the
up.
rest of the group to convene at the bar to see what's going on.
I'm going to push over one of those height accessible stools.
Screeching across the floor.
Just to say something, me and Var are not actually there. We didn't come in.
Oh shit!
Just
Yeah, you
point
guys are
out.
still outside.
Just to let James know we didn't want to go in.
Any particular reason? You
That's
guys are
fine.
just chatting about the pyre stuff.
With the meta holy people.
We're going somewhere else.
Scared church.
Going on a mini
To
adventure.
church. Midnight mass.
Would be morning,
Right.
Matt.
The morning mass. Is it Sunday?
The 13th of summer, isn't it?
Sunday's God's Day.
I had the calendar somewhere.
It's the 24th of Octar.
24th.
Is that a Sunday?
Yeah.
It's the 20. Yeah, it's the 24th today of Octar. Yeah.
It's the 12th.
By the
yeah.
way, just as a side note, you all realize sort of, you know, once you've got the date, you've been unconscious for a good while. It's close to 3 weeks.
3
Oh,
weeks. Oh my
okay.
god.
Yeah.
So it's a huge coincidence that we're unconscious for 3 weeks and we all wake up at the exact same time.
There's a reason. Well, we'll get to that in the future.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
Right. So that should be. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to bring you over to this now. Can you see that?
Ooh.
The load line's really
very
blurry
blurry
still.
map.
Not loaded in properly. There we go. Zoom
Yeah.
out
Yeah, it's
and it'll
because
adjust.
Oh, Douglas's hole.
Yeah.
Oh,
I knew
Oh,
you were
there we
there.
go.
what?
I was waiting for this. Joe
Straight
told me
away.
yesterday.
Oh, I see
apologised
what
to
you
me.
mean. These are very Celtic sounding names, actually. Caer Conig, Caer Dineval. Very Cornish / Welsh.
Haven. Very Cornish.
So she opens up the map
Oh, good.
onto the bar, and she sort of points for you, and says, "Right,
Oh, why
so
am I looking at this? I have the map in the book, don't I? I can open that up.
do not open the map in the book."
Oh,
Spoilers.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't touch that then.
Just do it.
I'm
Yeah,
becoming
it's got
excited. It's
like.
like, oh, I can finally open my book.
Aww.
So she points at the map, and she sort of points at Bremen. She says, "Right, so here we are in Bremen. Targos is right here, and that's the city of Brenshander right there. So it's best to keep to the roads. So you just follow this road here." And she just sort of points sort of along the dotted line, just showing you where the roads are. And that's the best place to reach Brenshander. I will say though, if the weather changes, and it does change very quickly, be careful. Many people have got lost and perished to the cold.
No.
In fact, if you have a look over that cliff, see what I mean.
Thank you very much for your help, Kura.
Tell you what, you can keep this map. And she sort of rolls it up and ties a little bit of a sort of twine around it and hands it to you, Johnny.
Oh shit, nice. Now you guys have to protect me because I'm the one with the map.
Pocket Johnny while he's not looking. With his giant hands.
He's just gonna mug me as soon as I get out.
I mean, you are
Yeah.
very stealthy.
I have. Hidden
Wait,
in
what?
plain
Oh, no,
sight.
that's
You'll never
scary.
suspect a thing.
You can use it to wipe your greasy hands and then ruin the map completely.
Use it as a bib.
I'd actually add. I'll figure it out
read
in a
the
bit,
map.
but I
I
don't know how
can
to
read
add
maps.
equipment or anything like that again.
I'll show you how to do it later on. Hey, is there anything else I can help you with?
I think that's everything from me. Anyone else? Any questions?
Don't think so.
I'm gonna come forward. Have you seen any other bugbears besides me?
I'm afraid not, dearie. You're the first.
Okay.
If I
Walk
see
away.
any more, I'll be sure to let you know.
As I walk away, I raise my hand in acknowledgement. I heard what she said.
And she's just sort of like, okay, all right. She's just sort of looking at you all in the minute, like,
I've walked out. I've left the inn. I went
yeah, so
outside.
they're looking at everyone else, sort of anyone who's stood there, like,
TV static.
Catching
James,
flight.
James, I don't know if you heard before, me and Var weren't actually there.
yeah,
didn't
no,
go
I did
inside.
hear that, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I must say I am quite busy. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I think that's everything. We'll let you get back to your work. And thank you so much for the map. We really appreciate that, as well as the directions to Bryn Shander.
Oh, you're welcome, dearie. And I'll let you know about that, about the shores.
If we're ever in Bremen again, we'll definitely call in.
Great. Well, good luck. And she sort of gives you all a nod and turns around and gets back to her work.
Tip my top hat at her.
She curtsies. Okay, so what are you doing?
I've
Mention
just
Lucian's
walked
general store.
outside. As I come outside, can I see Var and Goza?
No, we
Um,
left. While you were talking, we left.
You're just gone.
We were having a long conversation, so.
Okay, so you're not like in sight at all. You just disappeared.
It depends where about on the map the town hall is, I guess. Can you see us from there?
I don't
Okay,
know.
I'll
I
bring-
can't see you from there. Then.
yeah, you can't see from there, but I'll bring you back to the Bremen map.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna look around, shrug, and head towards the stables.
Okay, no worries. So you head, the stables are just here, so
Yeah.
so it's like just literally around the corner. It takes you a couple of, like, maybe 30 seconds to get there. Right, so Var and Goza, you said that you're heading over to the town hall.
If we can find it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I mean, looking about the town, there's plenty of signage. It's quite difficult to read, but it's readable. It's all quite old and rotted. And you just sort of head back past Hayden's house. You see the sign that points to the town hall. As you get there, the town hall is it's quite big. It's quite large, and it does stand out from all of the other buildings. It's raised off the ground, just like all of the others. But this, it sort of looks different. It's sort of the top of its roof looks almost like the sort of bottom of a ship, as if a ship's just been turned upside down. And there's smoke coming from a small chimney on the west side.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to Var and go, Var, if you look at that building, if you tilt your head slightly, looks like the bottom of a ship.
I'll have to take your word for that, laddie. I've spent most of my life on the ground in the temple.
Should we go in?
Aye.
I'm gonna go inside.
Okay, so as you walk up the steps to go to the front door, you see that the door is sort of like arched. So it's sort of like a big arch, and the handles are like these two It's almost like a yin yang kind of, but it's two fish. You recognize the fish. They are the knucklehead trout. It's like two of them sort of like like a koi design, sort of interlocking each other. So you push on the door. It's locked.
Can I
They're
knock on
not.
Yep. So that was a good knock. That was really good. Thank
Oh,
you.
it was
for
really
that.
Scared
good.
me.
That was like a reverb on it. Yeah, that was mental. But eardrum vibrated there.
Yeah, Cora's shitting herself back at the end.
PTSD.
So after a couple of minutes, you sort of hear the door unlock, and it sort of slightly opens, and you see a human female. She's got quite pale skin and red hair that's sort of tied up in a plait that sort of hangs over her right shoulder. She's wearing, from what you can see, sort of like a white top, and she's got like green overalls, but they sort of lead down instead of pants. It's like a green sort of dress sort of thing. And she opens the door and says, "Hey, can I help you?"
Do you want to do the talking, Val? Or me?
You go ahead, though. You go. Sorry.
Good evening, madam. Would we be able to speak to the leader of this village?
Mr.
Oh.
Noble Gruff, I believe.
Oh, I'm afraid Mr. Shalescar is quite unwell. But is there something that I can help you with?
We just want to inquire about some of the things that have been going on in this village. Would you be able to help us?
Of course. Let's tell you what. Why don't you come in? And she just sort of opens
Why,
up,
thank you. Thank you very
and
much.
she sort of like takes one look at you, Goza, and sort of looks up and shakes it off and closes the door. You come inside, and
Smiling, trying to be polite.
it's quite warm inside. There's actually fires on all four sides of the main room. In the center, there's like a desk where you're assuming this woman sits. All around, sort of above the fireplaces, there's quite a lot of books, like loads and loads and loads of books, almost like the inside of a library. And you can see just one door to the back, but you're not sure where that leads. And she sort of leads you in and takes a seat behind the desk and says, "Hey, so you've just come for some information?"
That's right.
So she goes into a drawer and she pulls out some like pamphlets and things and says, "There you go." There's like one for a zoo and like one for.
Oh, right. Ooh, very nice.
She says, "Yeah, there's not really much that goes on here. There's really we're just sort of trying to survive. What sort of things are you looking for?"
We would just like to ask about the bodies that get brought to a burning pyre at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah. Well, we tend to find quite a few bodies on the outside of the town. They attract wild animals, and it can be quite dangerous, especially if they wander into the town. We've got a few houses on the outskirts that are, unguarded, and it's quite easy for, wolves and things. And once we had an owl bear ransack somebody's house. Luckily, they weren't in, but the bodies started to attract animals, so we've had to collect them. And unfortunately, we can't bury them because the ground is too frozen. So we need to burn them.
Do you, by any chance, know what happened to them?
Oh,
Did you check the bodies over or anything?
Not really. I'm assuming most of them have just died from the cold. Maybe got lost along the way. But no, I mean none of them have died in a particularly strange way, if that's what you're asking.
Yes, that's what we would like to know. Do you know anything about ice daggers?
Oh. And as soon as you mentioned that, she sort of like, you can see that that's immediately caught her attention. And like she sort of, yeah, a bit taken back by that question. Says, what do you mean ice daggers?
I believe some of the deaths, they were killed by some sort of an ice dagger in the back. I'm wondering if you knew anything about that.
Well, we had Leo. He was a stable hand. He died probably about maybe 10 days back. He went out hunting with his father, and his father brought him back, and he had a dagger of ice in his chest. I think that's the strangest one we've got, but his father swears that it's murder. So people in this town are far too weak and far too scared to, help or even investigate it.
So no one knows where anyone could get hold of or create an icicle dagger. And what is doing this?
Not that I can tell. We have had a few owls come in. Some messages from different towns. We had one from East Haven and one from Targos, and we've had a couple from Bryn. Apparently, there's some similar murders there, but I'm not entirely sure if they're connected or not.
Okay, from Bryn. So,
Yeah, Bryn Shander. So the locals, the locals just call it Bryn.
Okay. Var, am I missing something to ask?
Well, we're actually on our way to head to Britain, and we're just wondering, with the weather as it is out here, what would be the best way to survive the journey if the weather turns?
I mean, I'm not really equipped or very knowledgeable in survival. I barely leave this building, never mind the town.
Do you know who
I
is?
I mean, most of the people here don't leave either. It's far too dangerous. The bodies that we pull in certainly put people off from going anywhere. I mean, if I had any advice, I would say as fast and as quick as possible. Maybe get some dogs or, an axe beak or something to take you. If the weather changes, if a blizzard comes in, I would certainly try and, especially if you're both together, maybe hold on to each other. It's very easy to get lost here.
Fair enough.
That is very helpful, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Could I ask one more thing?
Of course.
The village leader, you said he's poorly. What
That's
is
right.
it that is ailing him?
Mostly age. He's quite old, and I'm afraid age has addled his mind.
Well, sorry, Rich made me laugh.
So
I thought you said AIDS at first.
Oh, poor old man.
it's
There's the old man, so I say.
That's fucking those owl bears. But the owlbirds, it's
Well, I'm terribly sorry. I do hope he's okay.
Oh, it's okay. He's lived a long and happy life.
Of course. We shall get going then. I
Apart
don't
from
believe
the
there's any
eight.
more information we need apart from the 8. Oh no.
No problem. Well, if you do have any more questions, feel free to pop by. I'll be happy to answer them as best as I can.
Oh, thank you, madam.
No problem. And she sort of gets up and sort of sees you out.
Yep. Well, Var, what are we going to do now? Should we go find the others? They're probably still at that inn chatting away.
they'll either be at the inn or they'll be at the general store. Should we head to the general store to get stocked up?
Yeah, do you have any gold? Because I'm completely broke.
I can spot you some. Don't you worry about it, lad.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so as you're heading to the general store, what's everyone else doing?
I headed over to the stables.
Yeah, you headed over to the stables. So you, as you've got to the stables, it's just quite a simple building. There's no walls. It's just like 4 pillars and a roof. It's quite large, and inside it's sort of like barn-like. There's like fences on the back rather than full walls, and there's like a small sort of like shed-like building with a chair, and inside you can see Hayden sat there.
I want to also head to the general store as well. So if I can I'm gonna kind of be like a little bit behind the others.
Yeah, no
Kind of
problem.
wandering around on my own, kind of following them in a way,
Okay, that's fine.
because I want to pick up a couple of little bits and bobs as well.
So, Buck, that's the general store, by the way. I'm just pinging it. Right, so Buck, you've headed to the stables. As you can see Hayden sitting there. Are you approaching him at all, or are you just?
Yeah, I'm gonna approach him.
Yeah, okay. So as you head over, he sort of immediately notices you. That red cloak of yours sort of attracts attention quite easily in the sort of bright white snow that's sort of being lit by the moonlight. And he looks up and says, "Oh, hey there. You're alone?"
I just nod.
All right.
Sort of looking around, looking at all the axe beak presumably around
Yeah.
me.
In fact, I have a handout. So I'll actually give you that just so you can see what
Okay.
what they look like and things. So I'll just hand that out to everyone. So you should have a handout now.
There he is.
Ah, that's so cool.
Hey.
Chocobo.
Yeah. So I'm sort of looking around at the area, and I turn to him. So, where was this cave?
Oh. Ah. You mean the cave? The cave my son was murdered in?
And I nod.
So he basically sort of takes a deep breath and says, it's not too far from here. It's just off the path south between here and Targos. It's quite hard to miss. Just off, I mean, you can literally see it on the path to Targos. It's just there.
You see him sort of make a mental note of it, and I'm just gonna walk over to one of the axe beaks.
Okay.
Whichever the one is the one that I'm sort of most in tune with, the one that I sort of look at and go, I like this one.
Okay. So as you sort of head out, like you sort of have a look around, and you sort of like put your hands out to sort of test them, so to speak. They are all very interested in you.
I'll take them all.
I mean, it's mostly because your hands stink of fish.
Grab all the reins and walk them out.
I tell you what, roll an animal handling check.
Okay. Do I get advantage because of my fishy smell?
Yes,
Thank you.
you can have advantage.
That's better. Thank you for the advantage.
Yeah, no worries. So all of them,
My
like
fishy smell.
all of them, generally, sort of have your attention. You know, their attention is on you as you sort of brush past them and stroke a couple of them. But one in particular, sort of actually doesn't come towards you at all.
Kindred spirit.
and
Brooding.
doesn't actually sniff your hands. It's actually the smallest of the lot.
Oh, I don't want that one. I'll brush it.
Assert your dominance over it.
Well, it's sort of already it looks up at you and it sort of gets down on one knee and sort of bows.
I draw my axe and hold it against its neck.
Okay, roll for attack.
I didn't say I was attacking it.
No, that's tough.
What do you mean it's tough?
No, I'm joking. Are you actually doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pull out your axe and you sort of hold it to its neck, and it immediately jolts back. It's got axe beaks don't have sort of wings per se. They can't fly or anything like that, but they do have like these little sort of nubs that are sort of
like ostriches, basically, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much like ostriches. And it just sort of starts flapping and freaking out, and it starts kicking its feet. Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Okay.
Whilst he's figuring that out, I'm just thinking, how strong is Bok, Doug?
Strong. Quite strong.
Strong, yeah. Do you reckon, since this is the smallest one, you could grab it by the ankles and use it as a makeshift axe?
Or like Alice in Wonderland, when they use the
flamingos.
Flamingos as yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm sure it'd be counted as a reach weapon if you do, right?
So
for reach because my long arms.
Oh yeah, you got weirdly
I got
long
10
arms.
foot
don't
melee
you?
instead of 5 foot because of my long arms.
my
arms go past my knees. Yeah.
Because you've scared the axe beak.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of jumped back and lifted its legs up and sort of went to kick you away as just sort of like a self-defense. And the axe beak's long feet and claws, which are actually perfect for traveling in thick snow, just catches your cheek, and you take 4 slashing damage.
Right, I'm killing it.
Are you okay? Are you actually going to kill
rage?
Yeah, no, I'm not popping rage. I'm going to swing my axe at it. It's the weakest. This one is weak. It will die.
Oh
my god!
Now, James,
He's not going to let us take them now.
Did you have this planned? Axe beak versus Bok combat.
Bok beak.
Bok beak.
I've got
Bok slayer of axe beaks.
Yeah, roll to hit.
Please
21.
miss.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
for fuck's sake!
Okay,
misses.
21.
Yeah.
That definitely hits. Roll damage.
8 points of damage.
Does.
Okay. So, out of anger, you bring your axe back and swing it the back of the sort of axe beak's neck.
Mm.
It just managed to just slightly dodge out, just slightly dodge, but you do nick it in the neck, and then it takes 8 points of slashing damage.
Oh my god.
Immediately, Hayden has gotten a wind of this, and he sort of comes out and says, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I point my axe at him. This one is the weakest, and it should be killed.
It's the smallest, but not the weakest.
It is weak because it is small.
The minute the axe beak is sort of like pushed back in the in its sort of den, and the rest of the axe beaks as well are starting to like really freak out. And Hayden's just sort of like shocked, something he really just did not expect happening. And he's just like, leave.
Okay,
Leave
I'm
now.
gonna grab the reins of all the other axe beaks and start walking out.
Okay. Hayden sort of runs off.
We're gonna get a militia after you already.
So yeah, Hayden runs off, and he's just sort of like disappeared into in the dark. So you've got to. So the axe beak are actually locked behind some wooden doors, like gates.
Okay,
So
I
if
open each gate.
okay, I mean they are locked, so you can try and break them down, or pick the lock if you've got a lock if you've got thieves' tools.
I mean,
I don't think Bok is a type of person who will carry thieves' tools, by the way Doug's been playing him so far.
I don't carry thieves' tools. No.
Too small for your big hands, right?
I'm not gonna break them. I was just gonna sit down.
Assault.
Okay. Okay, so you sit down while all this is unfolding. What's everybody else doing? There's three of you going to the shop.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the shop too.
Okay, so the three of you meet up at the shop. What are you doing, Johnny?
I'll probably be going to the shop as well, just to see what they have. Food,
Okay.
rations, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Okay, before we go in, I want to like stop Johnny and Dedriel, and I'm gonna say like, is there any chance during this that we're gonna need some not so above board skills, if that makes sense?
You're gonna do your
Eventually.
special talky talk.
Less in that sense, and more in the illegal variety of lockpicks and thieves' tools.
I don't see the
mean-
harm of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure, but might be worth bringing them along if you want.
The entire area is trying to kill everyone. I think having some lockpicks on you won't be the least of people's concerns right now. Just saying, if you do find the odd coin or two, just slide one over to good old Johnny Flash, you know? Wink, wink.
And do you think the people here are going to be bothered if we? I mean, I'm assuming if they sell.
Nah, be
excellent
fine. I'm
use to-
sure, be fine. Just say you're a locksmith. Sure, you could pull that act off, wouldn't you?
Well, I was thinking perhaps a bit of a disguise and purchase them as somebody else to keep attention away from us.
The question is, do we have enough coin?
Probably not. I'm running pretty low on funds. I've only got 15 gold on me at the moment.
Same here.
Oh, you don't have much.
Where did all you get money from?
Where is our money on roll 20?
So in
Equipment, top
In
right.
your equipment, yeah.
I've got I've got 10 gold. 10 gold.
Okay, perhaps maybe I'll just wait, and then once we get to Bryn Shander, then I'll try and pick something up. Hopefully we'll have accrued some more gold by then.
The mention is a city compared to the small town. You might be able to get them cheaper there.
That's a good point. Okay, we'll wait. We'll wait. On the front of smooth talking, we'll definitely try and get some discounts with some smooth talking.
I can make some pigeons to assist. Just give me
Some
the
pigeons,
command,
yeah, great.
and I'll spawn some pigeons.
You and your pigeons. Oh my goodness.
I do the pigeons, you do the fireworks. We've gone through this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wanna grab some food and stuff anyway. So I'm just gonna you carry on thinking about your show. Yeah, I just go ahead and wander in.
Okay, so you head into the shop and you see a dark-skinned man just behind a counter. It just looks like a normal general goods store. You can see, just a manner of like different like tools and things, and one wall actually has a few musical instruments on there as well.
I'm immediately going to go over and look at those musical instruments.
Okay. They look just like normal general sort of musical instruments. On there you can see there's some bagpipes, there's some flutes and some horns and things like that.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Already got a horn, I believe.
So the guy behind the counter, like I said, he's dark skinned, he's got dark hair and dark eyes, and his hair's quite long as well, and it's tied up in a bit of a ponytail. And he's wearing this like blue sort of like plaid like vest and long shirt. And he says, "Ah, how can I help you?"
Looking for some travel supplies, good sir.
Well, you've come to the right place. What sorts of supplies are you looking for?
What do you suggest? Let's just say we are new in these parts.
Mm-hmm.
Thing?
How are you getting around?
I believe we have procured some axe beaks, so travel should be okay for the time being.
Okay. Have you got a tent to sleep in on the road?
Can't say that I do.
Well, we have these tents specifically made for winter. They 2-person tents do that at 2 gold.
2 gold is quite steep, good sir.
I'm afraid 2 gold's the price. it's very difficult to get to, to restock in this weather.
Imagine,
I'm afraid
but how would you like to see a trick instead? Something you've never seen before. That help to drive the price down?
I'm afraid it's going to take more than tricks to drive the price down, but I tell you what I will do. If you do need a tent, what I will do, I will throw in a bedroll for just 5 silver pieces.
Quickly looking through my equipment because I don't think I don't even get a bedroll in my starter kit.
I
which
have
is
a
kinda awful.
bedroll.
Oh my
I have a
God.
bedroll.
I have a
Yeah,
little
me too.
bag of sand, but no bedroll.
Yeah,
have a
so
bedroll as well,
the
yeah.
bedrolls are
Sam?
quite thick as well. Will definitely keep you warm in the night.
I'll take up on the deal.
What kind of food have you got?
I'm afraid I don't sell food here.
No rations?
Oh yeah, we have rations. I mean, they're not very good. And they're quite old. But it's 24-hour rations would be about 5 silver.
Okay. I'll take a couple, please. 2, please.
Okay, no problem. He hands you the rations, and he also gets a tent up from one of the shelves and a nice big thick bedroll as well, and he hands that over. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Considering
Right.
we're buying in bulk, there's 3 of us who want tents. Are you willing to reduce the price? I think 2 gold, 50 silver for 3 per tent for 3 tents.
Make a persuasion check.
It's 10 silver to a gold, I think, if I remember right.
It is, yeah.
Oh, is it 10
Yeah.
silver? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
2.5. Then you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Yeah, all right.
Raise my eyebrows.
He just looks at you and says, "Okay, since you're buying more than one, I'll take you up on that offer."
Thank you, good sir. That's much appreciated. If we're ever back in Bremen again, we'll make sure to return the favour. And I would like one of those tents as well.
Okay, so he sort of nods his head and sort of brings them down off the shelf and hand them over.
Give him a couple of gold pieces. And be like, right, come on, guys. I'm getting cold in this place. I want to get moving.
Do we have enough rations and everything? Do we buy enough?
Well, were you all there or just that group? I didn't realise we were all
We're
there.
we're
think
with
it's-
them. Well,
Oh, sorry,
we all
didn't
went to the
realise.
general store, yeah.
Didn't realise that.
You guys could always just walk in as we're
As we're leaving, yeah. Because I'm getting a bit cold and want to kind of get on the road and get moving.
Just to speed up the
As-
whole the same conversations then, James.
Yeah, so we'll just say that you're there with them.
Can I get a tent for myself and Gozo? Can I get 2 bedrolls? And I'm gonna say 60.
I already have a bedroll. So
You already have a bedroll, okay, 1
Yeah.
bedroll. 60.
He'll so as you're all together, we'll just say that Adelamin's skills in persuasion managed to get you all a discount.
You're welcome. We've already got, so I think we've got 3 tents now, so that's good for 6 of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Can we take one of those tents with me and Var?
How much?
I think you've already got. If you've got 3 tents, that's
we're doing it. Yeah, we've got it.
3 tents, yeah.
yeah.
Calculate
because
who's going to share with who. I think Gozo or Var is guaranteed 1 tent. It's going to be a case of who's going to sleep with smelly old box.
Oh yeah.
Stinking the tent out.
It's you,
fish.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Smelly old Vogue.
they can fight man as myself. I'll have to do rock, paper, scissors to sizzle.
Yeah, roll for it.
Oh, you have to roll.
I don't
There you
think
go.
you guys
can
get
roll.
to decide who's staying with
I mean,
Bog.
he's quite
Yeah.
furry. He's quite furry, so maybe he'll be a bit
Oh,
warm.
you can have him then. You can
No,
have him.
no,
then, okay.
no,
No,
I'm
it's sorted.
Just
You can
offered.
have him. You just offered. It's so kind of you, but yes, you can have
No,
the
no,
fuzzy
no,
bit.
I would rather not be in the same tent as a gentleman that I don't already know. So I would rather
so-
be with one of you two.
Well, I
3
agree
years.
with you, Adriel. Then I don't know how many it is then.
3 years, roll the d20. Whoever gets the lowest.
Getting
We're
in an
gonna start
argument
rolling
about who wants to share.
Everyone's
with,
gonna
with
roll
Bob.
persuasion against each other.
I'll take the hit on this one, and I don't mind sharing with Bok. You know, he might have something
Kind
interesting
of
to say.
you.
He might have
He
some
might have
stories
some
to tell.
amazing stories.
Just
Exactly.
lullaby him. Lullaby him to sleep.
I think he probably does have many stories to tell. It's just getting them out of him.
Yeah, he might be a tough nut to
A
crack. but-
man of many words, as he is.
We
Right.
make way to the stables.
Shall we head to the stables? Yeah, please.
Hopefully, Bok is over there. I haven't seen him for a while.
Feeling a bit impatient. Feeling a bit impatient now.
So, as you leave the general store, you actually notice Hayden run past the general store back towards the stables,
Oh no.
and
Got
just a
guards
short,
behind him.
yeah, just a few feet behind him, you see one guard in full armor
They've got guards in this tiny little place?
and carrying a sword.
Let's have a small
Oh,
amount
great.
of time guards at the very least.
And they are both heading towards the stables.
I want to
now.
follow this guy. These
Do you
guards.
reckon it's an owl bear attack?
Well, whatever it is, I think we need to fix up. You know, sharp swords, sharper wits.
Mhm.
I'll whip out my wand.
So, as you all sort of follow behind, wand drawn for Johnny, you reach the stables, and the guard and Hayden are a little bit sort of out of breath. You sort of ran through the town, and you see Buck sitting in this little sort of shed thing, just waiting. And you see Hayden point towards him and say, "That's him. That's the one there." And that's where we'll leave it tonight.
Okay.
God.
Oh god, we're gonna get exiled from Bremen already.
Can't believe you did that, Doug.
Me. It hit
Feels
me
all
right
right.
in the back.
You should totally slay that axe beak and use it as a weapon, though, for sure.
Oh,
Make it use it
that
as
would
a
be cool,
makeshift
actually.
weapon.
I'm gonna decapitate it and then mount its head on a stick. I have my axe beak axe.
Axe pickaxe. That'd be quite cool. Let's see if it plays out that way, though.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna join the guard. Then burn Dulce's
No.
character.
And when you guys said Gozer was gonna be the first one to die,
Yeah.
it was by my hand.
You won't be able to kill me.
I'm gonna fucking hoot and rage, mate.
So you can try it. Try it. Try and kill me.
Interesting
Take you
stat
down.
about this week, though. There was no nat 20s or nat 1s.
I think there was only
It's
like
rare
4
for us,
rolls
to be honest.
altogether.
There
Most of
were
it was
hardly any
roleplay.
rolls.
Very
Yeah.
slight
Yeah.
question.
We need more roll checks, James, to make it harder.
We need
Nat
less
ones.
just talking to people who just like the people are just like I don't know, we're doing I'm just like
Yeah.
I want to get on, I want to get adventuring.
Yeah, I'm
wanna
apprehensive because
adventure.
I know how
Adventure
I know how
time,
lethal
yeah.
this can be. That's why I'm a bit apprehensive.
Our characters don't.
Exactly, our
play
characters
D&D?
don't. Cora, no, not Cora.
Cora knows.
Ezreal is impatient and cold, and she's agitated and wants to get adventuring.
I think that's the difference.
Because
Johnny Flash is nice and warm and cozy because he keeps prestidigitation to warm up his clothes. He's just like in a heated blanket at all times.
he's
This
fine.
is fine.
He is
My
fine.
cheeks might get a little bit cold, but that's about it.
Oh, lucky you, right?
I'm a nice big fur coat as well, so I'm alright. I'm a big lion.
Also, why did you redeem ads as well, James? God damn it.
Oh, because
Oh,
it was just there,
I should've
wasn't
turned
it?
off.
Does it?
It's just there, isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
a button you can
How mu-
click.
How much health does your character have?
Oh, if you looked at my
currently I have
Twitch, you can actually
19.
see everything.
19. Okay.
I have only 19, really?
What's your
Well, I
armor?
took a hit. I have 23 normally. 14.
Oh yeah, I'd destroy you.
Would you?
I think so.
Would you?
He takes half damage, though, remember.
Why?
Barbarian stuff. Barbarians are the best tanks in the game.
Are they?
I don't think I
Yeah,
have.
barbarians are
He has
probably good.
14 armor. I have 19 armor and I give myself 21 armor.
But when you hit him for like 1 or 2 points of damage each time, and he's just like landing one attack every 3 on you for like 12 points, he beats the race usually.
Well, I have a spell that allows me to deal 2d8 extra radiant damage on hit.
Divine Smite, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
that's
something
nice.
Smite, it depends, right?
Divine Smite it is. At the moment it says Divine Smite.
I only have 12 HP.
So yeah, I have
see
20.
12.
Yeah, I've got 15.
So I have lay on hands as well, I can just heal myself.
You have 19 AC.
Yeah, and the ability to give myself 21
Okay.
on a
right.
bonus
Oh my
roll.
God.
See,
A bonus
Really?
action.
and if I
Paladin
rage,
plan.
I have lay on hands as well, so I can just heal myself like 10 points of damage.
That might be
Rajay.
close, yeah, that might actually be close then until... have you got a primal path already, Doug?
No, I don't get it till level 3. There's the
Oh,
nat 20.
there's the nat
Yeah,
20.
Douglas, I would have won.
Go on, roll for damage. Roll for damage.
Roll for damage.
Yeah.
It'll be that. Oh, there's the one. And then
Are we gonna round the night off some spooky?
oh no, it doesn't work.
Hell yeah, I'll gladly watch that stuff.
Yeah, I just opened Steam up.
If you do
Hell
some
yeah.
spooky, does someone mind streaming it? Because I wouldn't mind just watching as well. Have a laugh.
Same here.
Yeah.
Also,
balls.
because I noticed Aid and James had a really long talk about stuff. I don't know what it was about still, but if you need to take notes or anything at any point, Aid, I'll put the VOD up and you can rewatch it at that place.
Also,
That's cool. I was like kind of taking notes as we were going.
Oh,
if
awesome.
that's gonna happen, can we like let us know in the future or do it like a little bit early or something?
Yeah,
That
I
was, like,
apologize for
bit
that. That's
annoying as
my
well.
fault.
We were just like we were ready. We had our cups of tea and all of that, and then it was like, oh,
Yeah. You got ready and you went, can you guys go to another channel? Right.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
my fault.
Yes.
it kind of just
You-
started
you
it off
would know
in
that, Doug.
like a not super excited way.
You know what can happen though, Doug, is when you like have something lined up and then, oh shit, I've completely forgot to actually do this kind of thing. I had to do it myself in the last session I ran. Completely forgot a big thing. I was like, session's ended. It's like, oh wait, no, I need to actually do this.
No, I'm always prepared, Max. Prepared. It's a good thing. Don't know what you mean. Always prepared. Name one
I
point
should-
in Dragon Heist where I was behind. I retconned a lot of things, so I made mistakes, but I never stalled.
Yeah, you got a fair
I
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
kicked people out of the channel.
When we tried to go back to see Zoblob, you didn't
Oh, I
have that
retconned him out of the
prepared.
campaign entirely.
You didn't have
yeah.
that
Moved
prepared,
away.
and you're just like, nope, can't go to it.
Yeah. Made sure of that. He's turned up and it was all boarded up, so out of business.
After you made him such a pain in the arse at the beginning for us to go get him something purple.
You're welcome.
Good session.
I love
think
him.
We've got a lot of
He was
information though that we
great.
can act off the next one though. I think it's one of those sessions where you build up a lot of like stuff you need, and then you just power through some quests for the next couple of sessions, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
one of
I
those.
don't actually have that many notes though. I didn't actually get much information.
I got a couple bits.
I've got like
potential side
3
quest,
lines
Monster of the
or
Lake.
something.
I've got the map stuff.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah,
Speed
the
of
map.
Pit
Yeah.
stuff. But that Monster of the Lake, I reckon, is a side quest though. My DM senses are tingling.
Your DM senses. tingling.
I reckon it's going to be like.
It's too pre-gen to be something that's been made on the spot, basically. So
I
it
reckon
has
it's
to
going
be
to be something like Scooby Doo. It's not going to be a real monster in the
It
lake.
could be.
It's
It
going to
could
be.
literally someone disguising a boat.
It's the janitor.
It's that fishing guy.
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids in that dumb bark.
Yeah, he's just got animal
Seriously,
pelts on his boat and the fog machine, just making himself look creepy in the lake.
It's old man
Concession.
Hayden.
That stupid cat. Would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids and that stupid cat. That stupid 7-foot cat.
Oh, Rich
Close
is
off the
sharing.
screen real quick and play some mags
Hell
and
yeah.
stuff. So I'm going to deafen myself briefly in the Discord and then watch you guys play some Spooky Boys, if that's alright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, stream.
Catch you guys in a bit. Bye, stream.
But
Bye.
my
Stuff.
Phasmophobia is stuck on updating.
Alright guys, thank you very much for joining us for session 2 of Icewind Dale. Thank you very much for tuning in. We have double time redeemed today, which is kind of a curve for me because I've completely forgot to turn it off. So we'll be running a bunch of ads at the end of the stream here. So if anyone's willing to watch them with ad block off, that'd be awesome. Gives me, I think, 2 or 3 cents every time I do that. So massive money, as you know. So yeah, really fun session. Helped us prep and get ready for the inevitable quests we're going to be doing, because I think we're going to just do like quest after quest after quest now by the sounds of things. So just one of those lulls before the storm kind of sessions, I reckon. So yeah, I'm trying to think of any of the updates we've got. So Icewind Dale will be back next Monday. This Wednesday is Storm King's Thunder, led by Anthony, with our motley gang of Storm, not Keesis, Pyrion, Kronk, Nanami, Torvik, and Korvac. Really fun, that one. We'll be introducing a new mechanic called flashbacks. I think Ant's on board with that one. We'll be implementing that in both Curse of Strahd and Storm King's Thunder, just to give you guys an opportunity to see more into the backstory and what caused the characters to end up where they are currently in the campaign and all that stuff. So hopefully it will be cool. If not, we're gonna turn it off. So yeah, I'll over. Flashback hype, yeah, Ben. It's going to be sweet. I'm trying to think. Imagine the... Oh, God. I kind of want to... I don't think I can redeem it myself. Oh, I can't. I have infinite channel points. Ooh. Like that. I'm half tempted to do it to Torvik just to see what the fuck made him such a loot goblin and why is he such a pest. So that'd be interesting. I could just keep doing it over and over and over again. Do essentially... a mini one shot where we see it's like a misadventure at all of it because I'm in a bunch of goblins or tieflings. But yeah, I have infinite points, so I could do it. So one session of flashbacks could do. I was thinking if we need some, if we get a couple of people missing from a session, we could do a one shot where we go back into time to a character and do stuff that way. It was something I was thinking of having as a backup plan at some point, but yeah. Could actually be feasible now. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream there. Hopefully some music will play. Hopefully it's not too loud. new animation hype. I think some music is playing now. Gonna run some ads, but yeah, catch you guys Wednesday. Bye bye.
We got everything in here. Salt,